Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Today we're going to take a look at Webex Control Hub. We're going to look at the reporting and the troubleshooting tabs of Control Hub in some more depth and understand how we can, review our meeting usage and understand the quality of the meetings that we're having on our platform. So anyway, if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'm going to just dive in and check it out firsthand. To look at analytics and troubleshooting, we'll start here with the analytics tab on the left-hand side. The data set is extremely large, so it does take a few moments to load. When you land, you'll see by default we're looking at a 30-day view. You can filter by date here at the top with this drop-down menu. We have total meetings, total video meetings, meeting minutes, unique hosts, and total participant information across the top. This is your key information from an adoption perspective. How many people are using the service and how are they using it? As you scroll down, you see a few tabs here, both engagement, quality, and audio. From an engagement perspective, this is again more more details around how are users using Webex. As you can see, the green line are video meetings and total meetings is the orange line. You can see we have a pretty good adoption ratio here. If we look at quality, this will give us an idea of the quality of the experience. So the red line that is straight across is the join time. This is our goal that is set. We want to be able to see everyone joining the meeting in 10 seconds or less. As you can see, there are a number of participants here in the bars. The blue line is the actual join time averages as it pertains to the meetings. As far as joining per location, you have the UK, the US, and Australia. Depending on where you are in the world, how far you are from the Webex data center, join time may be a little bit quicker or a little bit slower depending on some of those variables. As you scroll down, you can see VoIP quality and VoIP quality per location. VoIP quality is the voice over IP option through the Webex application. It is free, there's no extra cost to it, as there is with some of the dial-in or toll options where you actually use telephony to dial in. So it's important to know that experience and what the users are experiencing. Blue is good, a little bit of red is bad, so you can really hone in on where that performance issue was from and kind of dial it in from there from a technical perspective. Make sure the best possible user experience is happening for your end users. As you scroll down, there's participant details. There is a lot of data here. Meeting number, the meeting name, if it's a personal meeting room or if the meeting has a custom name, perhaps a scheduled meeting, who the user is specifically that joined the meeting, dates, times, operating systems, browser information, client IP address information. You even see packet loss and some TCP and UDP information here as well. If you want to filter by any of this information, for instance, meeting number, you can simply hit the magnifying glass, select a meeting number. I actually have a meeting number here that I want to look for. Hit that, hit the green checkbox, and all of the data in this entire field is now filtered by that specific characteristic. In this case, again, meeting number. So we can examine the join times, we can examine the engagement, we can examine the audio, all through this lens of these filters. Now this was a recurring meeting, so we have multiple dates by which the meeting started, but from here we can really hone in on that particular experience. Likewise, we can choose any of these other fields to hone in more detail. When you're done with your filters, you can simply hit the X. They'll be removed, and the full view of analytics will be restored. The audio tab is another very useful one. From a video perspective, obviously video quality is very important. From an audio perspective, it's even more important because if you can't hear, things do not get done. It gets very frustrating. So you want to have a very clear picture as to the audio usage. Audio usage is also where you incur a lot of costs. As you can see in our sample data set, the only thing that we have is VoIP audio, as you can see by the yellow or orange option there. If you hover over the bars, you can actually see the number specifically on a per day basis. I will point out that in a live environment, you'll likely see other audio sources as well. We have VoIP, we have CCA in and out, PSTN in and out, audio fallback. This is important with edge audio in that edge audio is a direct path to the Webex data center from an audio perspective.
But if that path is broken, there's a fallback functionality. So either way, all of these audio options are reported. You can, again, understand your costs, understand your performance, and really make some both technical and some business decisions based on this data. Again, the filtering will apply to this audio usage data as well. So much of this is experience data, it's historics, it's looking backwards. If we want to actually do some troubleshooting and dive into more depth on a per meetings basis to really understand where problems occurred, we actually can go to the troubleshooting tab. And you'll see there's a lot less to look at here. We have a search option. We can use email, meeting number, or conference ID to search for a meeting. Based on that information, we can filter by dates or date range as well, and time zone to help us lock in on that a little bit more. So I have a user email address I'm going to put in here right now. We'll hit the magnifying glass to search. You'll see that there are a number of meetings that come up. And I actually have a meeting in progress here. You can see by the in progress indicator. We'll go ahead and click on that. When you drop into it, you'll see a couple different things. First, we're going to land here. We'll see our in progress. We can refresh to see the latest details. We have the users down the side. We just have 2 users in the meeting so far. You can see them here, both using the Webex. Actually, here's one's using Webex Teams to join. The other is using Webex Meetings. So we can see what client they're using at quick glance. We can see the current status. Are they, in from a audio perspective? Are they in from a video perspective? Are they sharing content? And we get a real-time look at that experience so far, right? Good, fair, and poor. There's a little key down here. And some other details about the meeting itself. I'm actually going to jump back and try and find a meeting that has a little bit more going on in it. So give me just a second. Let's choose this one here that has already ended. This was 1 hour and 3 minutes. You'll see that same information here. Video, sharing, so on and so forth. What I want to show you is actually, let's pick a specific user and let's look at one that had some problems. This Forrest here, he had a little bit of some hiccups as we went through, so let's pick him. We can drill in, and now we can see the timeline as to what happened at what point in the meeting, right? So here we can see audio quality. All right, well, what happened? Oh, well, look at this. The latency increased substantially, 906 milliseconds. There was some greater latency there, a little bit of loss in statistics here. So that's the audio. You can look at jitter. You can look at bit rate from an audio perspective. Same thing with video. We had some increased latency. We had some packet loss, so those lines will bump up above that. You could say just short of 1% packet loss, so little major or minor glitch. We can go down through. We see media bit rate, frame rate, resolution. This is really important here. CPU usage, both on the system overall, right? So the entire system CPU usage, as well as the Webex app CPU usage. So if something is really hammering the system and it's taking a lot of horsepower to run it, and it's going to negatively impact the Webex experience, so we can see that information here as well. If there was some sharing statistics, we could see those here as well. I will point out on this side as well here, we can see the client versions, how they joined, platform, right? This guy was running Windows, connected via Ethernet, he was in San Jose or connected to that media node. There's both the local IP address as well as the public IP address, and we can see what transport they were using. Audio codec was using the Opus audio codec, so that's actually adaptive to some audio loss, if you will. Video codec, microphone configuration, speaker configuration, and camera configuration. So we know a lot about this endpoint from a troubleshooting perspective. If we need to export, we can certainly do that to pass this information along, maybe to Cisco or to another individual on our team for troubleshooting. From a troubleshooting perspective, this gives you the option to drill in a bit deeper.
Hopefully you found that helpful. If you have questions or comments, tips, or other tricks, leave them in the comments section below. Give me a thumbs up if you thought that was helpful. By the way, I want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you again sometime soon.